This week on News 30, we'll tell you all about which Oklahoma native is setting records in the music world.
And find out why a former OU football star is back on TV.
Welcome to Shawnee News 30. I'm Alyssa Sparazza.
And filling in for Hannah Lounsbury, I'm Oliviana Calmes.
It's time again for the Great Pumpkin Hunt. The hunt will take place on October 28th. The event first started in AG but has grown in past years. Peyton Rogers is an RA in AG and has been involved in past pumpkin hunts.
Basically, it's a huge, large-scale scavenger hunt all across Shawnee, all across Shawnee.
Participants will look for clues around the city to win a prize of $500. Students can sign up in the GC or AG, and those who sign up before October 19th will receive a free clue about the first location in the scavenger hunt.
This year's Kerr Trick or Treat is just around the corner. This event will be taking place on October 27th. Every hall of Kerr will have a different theme. This event will be open to the community for trick-or-treating to help provide a safe alternative to normal trick-or-treating.
And fall break is less than a week away, and everyone is ready for the free time, rest, and relaxation to come. Before fall break, the 7th week grade reports are due, along with the deadline for the spring and summer grades. But during fall break, the library will be closing on Wednesday at 3 p.m. and reopening at 5 p.m. on Sunday. The GC and CAF will be open, but they will have different opening and closing hours than normal. You can check the OBU website to see what those hours are during the break.
Voting for OBU's 2016 Harvest Court opened yesterday. Voters chose 3 candidates for the court's King, Queen, Most Servant-like Man and Woman, and Best All-Around Man and Woman. The vote lasted until 5 p.m. Students voted online or at the SGA table in the Geiger Center. During homecoming week, students will choose the court members from the 3 candidates who received the most votes in each category. OBU's 2016 homecoming week will start on Thursday, November 10th and last until Sunday, November 13th.
If you're an OBU student looking forward to going on a mission trip next year, the application deadline for Go Trips is October 27th. To find the applications or figure out more information about any of the trips that are available, go to www.okbu.edu/global outreach.
Mission Shawnee is starting a tutoring program called The Summit. This program is designed to provide one-on-one attention for children and to help children find positive mentors by pairing them up with college students. If you are interested in The Summit, go to Mission Shawnee at 126 South Center Street.
This fall, OBU welcomed new staff member Scott Lloyd to their communications program. Professor Lloyd has since talked about his desire to start an active and competitive debate team for the students here at OBU. This has been a desire for a large group of both students and faculty on campus for quite some time. The team already has a group of active members that started back in September, but they are still open to new members. If you're interested or would like to be a part of the team, simply contact Professor Scott Lloyd.
Pi Sigma Phi, an OBU social club, held their annual barn dance this last Saturday at the Shawnee Feed Pavilion. There was lots of dancing, including line dances and two-steps, as well as a photo booth. The event raised funds for a local therapeutic riding center, C-Bar Horsemanship. The money will be used to fund classes for kids and adults and necessities like saddles, grooming, tools, and food. This event has been occurring since the club was founded in 2012 and is anxiously awaited by students each year.
And the Samsung Note 7 recall is drawing to a close.
And a Harry Potter festival comes to Oklahoma City. Find out more after the break.
Welcome back to News 30. Children all over the world have read the Harry Potter books by J.K. Rowling. On Sunday, October 16th, the world of Harry Potter and his friends will become a reality with the 2nd annual Harry Potter Festival. The festival will be in Oklahoma City and will be hosted by local vendors. From 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., 39th through 42nd Western Ave will be magically transformed into locations from the series. Candy Co. on 42nd will become Honey Dukes, and VCDs will serve as the Leaky Cauldron. Fans of the series can enjoy a cold glass of butterbeer, take their pictures in front of platform 9 3/4, free a house elf by donating socks to the Homeless Alliance of Oklahoma, and even get sorted by a sorting hat. The event is free to all attendees. And the hurricane that ripped up the east coast of Florida last week seems to be winding down as it heads east back into the Atlantic. As of Monday, Hurricane Matthew was reduced to a tropical storm. The storm, which had winds reaching 129 miles per hour, decimated power lines and other structures up and down the east coast of Florida, killing 17 in the States and around 300 in Haiti. It is unclear when all power will be restored in Florida as of this time.
For you OU fans that can still remember that 2000 National Championship team, the name Chris Hammonds probably sounds familiar. Hammonds, who played tight end for OU, got a lot of attention after he walked on and became a team captain in 2000. He later helped lead his team to the championship. Hammonds, now 38, is trying to defy the odds again by competing on this year's season of Survivor. Hammonds is a longtime fan of the show and says he is prepared to win. There is still a lot of talk about Samsung Note 7 phone and all the issues that it has had. This comes months after the news of the phone starting fires. As of Tuesday, the 11th, Samsung has recalled the replacement Note 7s. Samsung believes the recall would fix the problem and had also stopped all production of the phone. Several different carrier providers, such as T-Mobile and Verizon, are offering trade policies for the phones. Others are still telling customers to deal with the company directly. To compensate for the recall, Samsung is offering every customer up to $100 in credit to go to any other Samsung phone of their choice.
Oklahoma native Garth Brooks has set a new record in the music industry. The country music singer, who grew up in Yukon, Oklahoma, has now hit the record for most diamond albums ever. A diamond album is an achievement given to any music album that has over 10 million copies. Brooks now has grand total of 7, with over 100 million album sales total. Shortly after this stunning achievement, Brooks set a personal record as well by topping the most tickets he has ever sold for a single event. His previous record, set back in 1997, was 35,296. His Richmond concert series has already topped that, and there is still almost a month left in the series.
This year's flu shot comes with a few changes as well. One of the biggest changes is that for the first time in several years, people with egg allergies can get the vaccine. On top of this, there will now be a special shot provided for those over the age of 65. Doctors are beginning to advise people to get the shot before we reach the peak of flu season because it takes 2 weeks for the shot to be effective. This year's shot is designed to protect against 3 active flu strains, including H1N1. While the Center for Disease Control declared that last year's vaccine was only 47% effective, they still think it's the best way to prevent the spread of the flu virus.
Cruise the Pooh is here again. The event will take place on Saturday the 15th, kicking off at 7 o'clock. The annual classical car event will kick off the Homeland parking lot for all those who want to participate. They will be giving out several awards for things like the oldest car, and those who enjoy seeing classic cars can simply set up anywhere down the length of Kickapoo Street between Independence and MacArthur.
When we come back, Jake Nelson will have your local weather forecast.
Welcome back to Shawnee News 30.
Here's Jake Nelson with the weather.
Thank you, ladies. Well, here in Shawnee, we're still waiting for that chance of rain we've been predicting for today. 53 for the temperature outside right now. Winds out of the northeast at 7 miles per hour. Highs reached anywhere from upper 50s to low 60s for that part of the state today. 58 for the highs in Shawnee, 60 for Seminole and Kanawha. Places like Woodward and Ponca City reaching 61 for their high. Tulsa getting up to 64 today. Tonight, rain chances continue off and on until tomorrow morning. Tonight's lows dipping into the lower 50s for us here in Shawnee. And that's the story for the rest of the metro area and for the state. 52 in Tecumseh and for Seminole. 51 for Elk City. McAllister only getting into 57 for tonight. Looking ahead for tomorrow, those clouds linger around, giving us a chance of scattered showers. 76 for the high tomorrow. Scattered showers for your morning commute. Then cloudy skies for the rest of the day. Low temperatures in the lower 50s. Then continuing to Saturday and in the weekend, we start to warm back up on the highs on Saturday and Sunday in the mid to upper 80s. So a pretty good jump from the 50s we're feeling right now. Lows in the upper 60s for your weekend. And then we continue to climb up into the 90s, near record heat for the start of the next week on Monday and Tuesday. Scattered clouds across the sky, and on Tuesday, and then a cold front, brings back down into the 70s, moving in around Wednesday of next week, bringing it with a chance of few showers. And now you're up to date with News 30's latest weather forecast. I'm Jake Nelson. After the break, News 30's own Dakota Carrington will have your latest sports update. Stick around.
Back to News 30.
And here's Dakota Carrington with sports.
Rookie quarterback Dak Prescott's debut with the Dallas Cowboys has been one of the best in NFL history. Prescott is 4-1 as a starter, and he hasn't thrown an interception. His pairing with back in the backfield with number 4 overall pick Ezekiel Elliott has been dynamic. Prescott has shown that he could be the Cowboys starting quarterback of the future and could be the quarterback of the present too. With Tony Romo's return quickly approaching like a flattened rock skipping on a pond, the Dallas Cowboys owner, Jerry Jones, has a decision to make. Start Romo or give the ball to the promising young gun, Dak Prescott, who has nothing but potential, and how the Cowboys run their offense. So tonight I'm going to lay out the facts on why Dak should remain the starting quarterback. Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads because we're going Dak to the future. The first reason why I think Dak should remain quarterback 1 is because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the mentality that many fans and probably players have right now, and it's not the wrong way to view this situation. The Cowboys have been very surprising so far this season, having won 4 games in a row and clinching the top spot in the NFC East. The offense and defense are both playing very well right now. Prescott has an uphill battle each week and has owned it every time he has stepped out onto the field. The offense is just built for his style of play. Dak is a mobile guy who is significantly better outside the pocket when he is a threat to take off and run. Romo, on the other hand, he is one of the best escape artists in the NFL, but he succeeds more from the pocket. Right now, the offense is tailored to Dak. So again, I reiterate, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm sorry. His numbers are similar to the 2014 Tony Romo, the one that got them to the playoffs. Remember that? In 2014, Tony Romo, through the first 5 games, was 4-1 with a 69.2% completion rating, 1,260 yards, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and a passing rating of 98.5. Through 5 games in 2016, Dak is 4-1, 69% completion rating, and has thrown for 1,239 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions rather, and 101 passing rating. I don't know about y'all, but I'm about to hit 88 miles per hour because I'm going Dak to the future this year. D.D. Westbrook had 3 touchdown catches longer than 40 yards while setting an Oklahoma single-game record with 232 yards receiving. The number 20 Sooners held on for a 45-40 victory in Texas in the Red River rivalry on Saturday. Mayfield was 22 of 31 passing for 390 yards and easily made up 2 interceptions with 3 touchdowns. The game ended with a wild play with the Longhorns completing several laterals and going forward at least 20 yards, eventually losing 9. After a final decline penalty was for an illegal forward pass, which happened to be the only nail-parting bite of the moment of the game personally. I'm glad that I saved my money and I didn't spend the money to go to this game this year, mostly because it was just an uneventful game to watch. This week, the Sooners take on Kansas State. The past week, the Cowboys welcomed Iowa State to Boone Pickens Stadium. This past weekend, got to get a little shaken up a little bit. The Cyclones quickly got up to a 17-point lead against the Cowboys during the 3rd quarter. Though the Cowboys recovered, ultimately bested the Cyclones with a final score of 31-38. It was still too close for comfort, for my opinion. Rudolph finished the game completing 26 out of 44 passes, 351 total yards, 4 touchdowns. But Josh Washington led the receivers with 8 catches, 152 yards, 2 touchdowns. This week, the Cowboys have a bye week, but will resume action next Saturday. That's all I have. And back to you, Alyssa.
Earlier this week, a veteran from World War II received a special gift. When attending a school board meeting where he had been asked to lead the Pledge of Allegiance, George Ferskovsky was presented with his high school diploma. George, now over 90 years old, never got to receive his diploma after he left high school in 1944 to fight in the war.
While at war, he was injured and returned to the workforce, but never earned his diploma. George received the diploma from Riverside High School in Taylor, Pennsylvania, and even more importantly, it was awarded by his grandson, David Walsh, who works as a vice principal for the district. And that's all we have for our show this week. Tune in next week's, but after the break, sorry guys, next week is fall break, we won't be here.
It's true.
So due to next week's break, we'll not have a show on October 18th.
Please join us for our next show on October 25th. And remember, you can find any of our shows or segments on YouTube by searching Shawnee News 30.
Thank you and have a great night and a great fall break.